Dr. Hildreth Poindexter was born in 1901 in Memphis, Tennessee, as the sixth of 11 children. He had a very storied career studying epidemiology, microbiology, and immunology. He has majorly contributed to the world of science and specifically to microbiology in a multitude of ways that we will discuss further on. All he accomplished was due to it, despite the fact that he faced immense discrimination along the way due to his race. Dr. Poindexter graduated from Harvard Medical School in 1929, pursuing his lifelong dream of becoming a physician. Keep in mind that his education was extremely difficult to obtain during the time of segregation, so this was an extraordinary achievement for a young African American man. Dr. Poindexter then went on to obtain his PhD in microbiology and immunology from Columbia University, making him not only an extremely impressive double Ivy League graduate, but also the very first African American individual to graduate with both their MD and PhD. Fortunately, despite this amazing accomplishment, Dr. Poindexter continued to face discrimination and hardship in pursuing research and other work after his graduation. After his graduation from Columbia, Dr. Poindexter struggled to find a place to work. The U.S. Research Institute in the Philippines was his first choice of workplace, but it was promptly turned down due to his race. Eager to begin his life in research and discovery, he finally found space at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, which happened to be one of the only institutions that would accept African American students. However, he made the best of the time in Alabama and poured himself not only into research, but into new discoveries and helped in world communities. After his internship, Dr. Poindexter worked in the rural South, specifically looking at disease within African American communities. He established a health education program in Bullock County, Alabama, where he was able to pursue his own studies in epidemiology, which is a major advancement in the field. His major accomplishment during this time was identifying both malnutrition and syphilis as prevalent diseases in the community, and these were two very common and relatively unknown diseases at the time. He then advocated to local health boards as well as educational and religious institutions for health reform within these communities, which had lasting effects. Dr. Poindexter then became the head of Howard University Medical College in 1936, which was a major accomplishment and gave him the ability to oversee the education of future physicians and those working with disease. He then received a Master of Public Health and Tropical Medicine in 1937 from Columbia University, adding to his impressive educational resume, allowing him to further pursue his interest in disease, especially those diseases that affect disadvantaged countries and communities. Following his graduation from his master's program, Dr. Poindexter served in one of the branches of the military in the U.S. Public Health Service for 30 years. In this time, he worked across Africa, Asia, South America, the Caribbean, Europe, and the Middle East. One of his major accomplishments and contributions to the world of microbiology came through his time in the military, where he studied diseases that were affecting soldiers during the war. He implemented an infection control program in the Solomon Islands, where malaria was rampant. In this program, he was able to reduce malaria in the region by 86.4% within the first 3 months of implementation. During his time with the USPSH branch of the military, he was awarded the Bronze Star for reducing malaria and schizophrenia, which is a disease caused by worms. This was a major contribution to the war efforts as future soldiers were dying due to disease, and also increased the knowledge of these diseases. While serving in the USPHS, he was appointed director of the mission of Liberia, where he oversaw laboratory and medical research in West Africa. He helped the government with sanitation planning, infectious disease control, trained healthcare workers, and oversaw medical research. He was then the first known Black diplomat of what is now the American Medical Board of Microbiology, and got certified in 1962. After his retirement from the USPHS in 1965, Dr. Poindexter returned to Howard University to teach courses in community health. During retirement, he decided that he wanted to continue inspiring future generations and wrote an autobiography. His book, My World of Reality, was published in 1973 and detailed his life and obstacles he faced while trying to pursue his achievements. The book describes at the age of 5 years old how he wanted to become a doctor and was able to support himself through school by working various jobs. He also recounts stories of the racial injustices he faced while in the military, recounting how he was forced to take his meals in separate tents from the other officers. And finally, Hildreth A. Poindexter passed away from a heart disease in April 1987. He was known for his faithful, energetic, aggressive, and skillful work in many different projects he took on throughout his life. Today, the Hildreth A. Poindexter Award commemorates his memory. The award is given by the Black Caucus of Public Health to an honorary physician or public health official with at least 7 years of service.